All right, let's do this. Hi, everybody who's starting to join. Okay. What's up, y'all? Everybody's starting to hop on here. Sorry, guys, I'm sharing it to a couple places. We do know we are live, so don't worry. If you guys are just now hopping on, feel free to hit that share button for us. That way we can get some views, get the show out there. Where else am I sharing it? So I'm gonna share it to, where's it at? Okay. I gotta share to the casual screen page because that's the one I forget the most because I'm a failure. Okay. What's up, y'all? Hi, guys. So look, I'm not wearing my brace. Like, I don't know if you can see my big old scar. Big giant scar from here to here. Oh, well, I went sideways, but you know. Hi. Trying to spend more time out of it than I am in it. At least that's what the doctor wants me to start doing. So it's a little scary, but I gotta heal sometime, right? The break is healed, so there's that. I'm just going through. I made a post about it, but I'm just going through like the physical therapy part of it now to like gain mobility because this is still as far as I can bend it. Not very far. My strong hand. So what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Let's check on the look. It's doing it again. It's like super notifying me that you're here. All right. What's up, guys? How's everybody's week been? I hope y'all had a good week. Has anybody watched this on Netflix?
Netflix.
Yeah, the Cecil Hotel, the one that we watched. No, we're not. Not on Netflix.
Where's my check?
No, what's up? What's up, y'all?
Baby.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Have any of you seen this yet? They've done a thing on Netflix. It's 4 episodes, kind of like what they did with the Richard Ramirez thing. So they did it with the Cecil Hotel. So it's 4 episodes long. But I feel like it mainly focuses on the Eliza, however you say her name. Alyssa is how I think. Alyssa Lamb.
Alyssa.
I think it's Alyssa.
Alyssa Lamb.
No, not yet, but you should. It's pretty good. But like I said, it pretty much just focuses on her and the situation with her. So there's that. I mean, it kind of talks about like all the stuff that used to kind of go down there, and stuff. More of the, what the fuck was that? What did you just do?
Someone's on my hat.
Oh, so we'll kind of talk a little more about.
Love you
What's
back,
up? Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I was trying to do with my hands. I don't know. I'm still half retarded with it. Sorry. Yeah. So anywho.
How's everybody's week before we get into this?
Aruba? Oh man, we've got Jeffrey. Jeffrey says he's heading to Aruba in the morning. That sounds fun.
Okay. Line up out your shit. Drop it on Canada when you fly over. Try to hit Waldy's house.
Stop! No, we're not bringing that bullshit drama here. Oh my god. What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? Oh, I'm so happy to see everybody here. Yes.
We got Cherry Mom. We got Great Bates. We've got Mini the Ninjas. We've got
Steve-O's and
Gorilla
Easy 808.
Stanfield. We got Easy 606, the Big Umbrella.
Sorry, guys. I'm really trying to figure out this whole camera thing.
We got Steve-O. We got Amber. Ryan Potter. What up? What up? Paul Oates. Where's Paul?
Good to see you guys. Happy to see everyone. Let's see if we got any viewers on YouTube. Don't forget, guys, this is also on YouTube. So if you can't or don't want to watch or want to watch it like on your TV or something like that, you can always look us up on YouTube. Also, you should follow us on YouTube, even if you don't really fuck with YouTube, just because numbers are great. See what's going on. We are live and 4 people are watching. Thank you to the 4 of you who are watching on YouTube. That's fucking dope. That's so cool, guys.
Chris Foster checking in. What up, Ninja?
Okay. See, I don't know if I can see the YouTube comments. Like, do you guys comment live? Can you comment live? I guess there's a chat. It says there's a chat. Okay, I see. Steve-O, you're here from YouTube. I see it, Zulia and Steve-O. And I seen it come up over here on these little notifications too. Yep, I see it now. I see it. That's cool. I'm learning new things about the website that I use to stream this from, which we've talked about on previous episodes. But I'm just now getting into like streaming YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So it's being dispersed through a website, and it gives me the comments and stuff over here as well. But sometimes it lags. But anyways, learning new shit. Sorry, bear with me. So cool. Oh, we got a 5th in here. We got a 5th on YouTube, y'all. Thank you guys for real.
You guys like my shirt?
Look at his. Oh yeah, look at this one. This one's dope.
The shirt's older than some of you ninjas out there.
Legit. This is an OG Jekyll Brothers button up. One of our homies actually came through with this one. I got it for him for Christmas. From here, I'll bring it. Here we go. Here we go, guys. Can't really see it because he can't really turn around too much. But anyways, that's an OG. That's an original. Those will never be made again type thing. We also got him a Lotus one. But anyways, the homies, Jen and Bud, they were, looking to rehome them. And we were the lucky people who got to scoot them up. Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was Riders. It wasn't Lotus. Anyways, old as fuck. And, like, they're, like, in top quality shape, too. They're, like, in good fucking shape. Like, wow. So shout out to Jen and Bud for those, because we fucking
Sylvia, hello, girly friend. Angie, what up?
Hey, Bubba.
Hello, Alley Chicken.
Gosh, guys, it's so great to see you all.
Angie released that new piece this week called Emotions.
Yeah,
Released it on his birthday.
Yep.
Check it out on digital platforms.
Check that out for sure.
Spotify, LimeWire, Napster,
live as fuck.
Mixer. Did I say LimeWire?
Did you say Napster? Oh God, it took me
Napster.
Oh, I gotta be careful bumping you with my arm. No brace on it. Okay, so, anyways, yes, minty as fuck, ain't it though? Ain't it though? I love it.
Motherfucking new wearing it.
I know, right? He didn't get to wear it. We took it with us to Florida. He got to wear the Riders one in Florida. We took this one with us in Florida too, but the day he was supposed to wear it, on the 1st, when we were out shopping and shit, for him, is the day I had my accident. So we spent that in the hospital, as most of you know. So anyways, yeah, that's totally a thing. I'm trying to figure out like the lag here, because there's a lag between us and y'all in the comments and stuff. I'm trying to figure out, like, I can see the hearts coming up, but I'm trying to figure out what exactly you're hearing when you guys are throwing up that, because there's a lag, there's a time difference here. So
that's big.
I think there's like a crazy. Yeah, but I think it's yeah. Taking me back to Napster. Taking you back to 2001. That's right. That's legit. Napster and LimeWire. I think we all probably killed our parents' first computers. At least I did. The first computer we had in our family, I murdered it with Napster and LimeWire, downloading psychopathic music. Anything and everything psychopathic that I could find. It was definitely LimeWire and Napster. I fucking destroyed computers downloading shit.
Because like back then, like now.
Then I found Pirate Bay.
Nowadays, like M&A,
so U-torrents.
Like reissues of House of Crazies. Back then, you couldn't get your hands on anything HOK unless you went through horrorcore.com or Hot Hits out of Detroit.
So fucking, you just hop on Napster and
Mhm.
LimeWire and just boom,
Yep.
make you a HOK mix.
Oh man, the mixes. Oh man, guys, do you guys remember buying packs of CDs? We're not gonna talk about tapes because we all had mixtapes too. Well, some of us had mixtapes, but the CDs, mixtapes. Oh man, CDs though, burning CDs. Oh, I remember waiting for hours to burn CDs because
Boy, you got that
you would
motherfucker
cram
done,
as
you're like,
much fucking music as you could on there. Even skits, like those skits were great for filler because you'd have like 37 seconds left and you're like, we've got a 28-second
that
skit.
fucking
Like
tray would pop
nailed
out.
it.
That tray would
And it
pop
was
out,
like
and
gold.
you already knew what you was gonna write on there with a Sharpie. You was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be Murder Mix 1999.
Oh my god, the murder mix, stop it.
Oh, man.
Summer murder mix.
Summer Murder Mix 99. But
oh my god. I still have some mixes.
we should bring back mix
Oh my
CDs again.
Let's do mixtapes.
Mixtape.
I'm sure we could go find some and then put like tape over
Hey,
the
tapes are making
thing
a comeback.
where you can like
Okay,
record like over top of tapes. Because we used to do that instead of buying them. What are you doing? Oh, the AXE one? Here you go, showing shit off.
Look, need to bring these back. Cassette tapes.
Which one is it? Psycho? All right. All right, y'all.
Fucking off. Let's get down to business.
And we're fucking off. Yeah, we fucked off for 12 minutes. So let's quit fucking off. There's one thing I can't stand because I also am an avid podcast listener. And I can't stand when they literally just sit there and jack off for the first like 30 minutes of the show. Like you think you're getting like a good hour and a half worth of show, and then you get 30 minutes of them just talking and talking. It's like, shut the fuck up. So, anyways, no need to bore you guys anymore. Let's move on. What's up? So, anyways, let's talk about today's episode. Today thank you. We forgot our thank yous because we're fucking piece of shit people. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for hey Caleb. Thank you for hey Richard. Nice to see you. Nice to see everybody. Damn, y'all showing up. I love y'all. But yeah, fucking thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for, rocking it out with us every single week. Thank you for the ongoing support that we get every week from you guys, whether it be sharing our posts, liking our posts, being here, sharing the live feeds. And if you haven't, please feel free to share right now if you could. Because it helps with our views. But anyways, thank you all for being here.
Every time you hit the share button, Raw D gets a fucking wart on his tank. I said it.
Hit the share button, y'all. Anyways, so yeah, thank you guys for being here. We love you guys. We do this because we enjoy doing it. It gives us, a hobby, but we do it for y'all, because you guys like it too. So
she gave me the choice. It was either podcast or church on Sunday evenings.
That was not the fucking deal. He is lying. That was not a deal.
Herb. There's no mean old bully Herb in the house.
Oh, man.
You gotta watch that guy. He'll bully you.
Oh, man.
He's so mean.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
okay, we're done. Look, we're wasting minutes. So
I remember cell phones with minutes.
Yeah.
I'll call you at 9. It's free.
All right. So, yeah. Without further ado, we're going to Today. Are you going to stop talking? Today, on the casual screen, we are doing the Cecil Hotel. Pretty cool, huh? Now, here's the thing. I really just had general, and let me see when, let me just Google this real quick. Talk to the people.
You just told me I had to shut up.
Talk for just a second.
I heard.
Okay, so that's what I was thinking.
Shane,
that's what I was thinking.
Magnificent.
So this,
still
I have had interest in. Okay, we're done with you. I have had interest in the Cecil Hotel since before the Alyssa, we're gonna say Alyssa, the Alyssa Lamb situation. Her situation took place in 2013, which we are going to get to. And I do remember it. Actually, I remember the news coverage. I remember the social media buzz about it. Some of you also may remember this, since it wasn't really truly that long ago. It wasn't even a decade ago. So a lot of you may remember this.
I remember for all the traveling that we do in the hotels that we stay in, I rate it from a 1 to Cecil.
Basically,
we've been in some Cecils.
Basically. But anyway, so yeah, I've actually had interest in this prior to that, and the reason for that is for those of you who don't know, and if you happen to watch American Horror Story, the hotel season of American Horror Story is loosely based off of the Cecil Hotel. So they took everything that kind of took place in the Cecil Hotel and made a season of the American Horror Story out of based off of this hotel and everything that kind of happened in here. So, and we'll also get in, we'll get into something like, for instance,
my favorite seasons of American Horror
hands
Story.
down. Absolutely.
That in 1984.
Absolutely. Great fucking seasons.
1984. We're going to have to do that.
We'll definitely, we should review the seasons, or we could totally review seasons, or do side episodes. Maybe we'll do some side episodes where we review episodes.
Where
or
are
something.
they now? They're still sitting on top of Ramirez and killing him every time he comes back.
Right. So anywho, even speaking of Ramirez, which we are going to get into, but they pay homage to him in the American Horror Story season hotel. He's actually in an episode, and there's a reason for that, which we're going to get into as far as the history of the Cecil Hotel goes. So it's piqued my interest for quite some time. But then the Alyssa Lamb situation happened in 2013, went viral, everything kind of, like social, as far as social media, and then the news and whatnot, it just blew up. That whole entire situation did. Plus everything that was tied to the Cecil Hotel along with her situation. So it really just blew up. And that's where a lot of people learned about the Cecil Hotel. That's when people's interest truly got, like, a lot of people got into the whole situation was, perhaps back in 2013. And then here recently, they just did the thing on Netflix, which has piqued a lot of people's interest currently. Even people who didn't even know about the Cecil Hotel until, I want to say it came out that the Cecil Hotel was put on, on Netflix in maybe the beginning of February, of this year, obviously.
All the podcast channels are going crazy with it.
Yeah, we just listened to Jericho's episode on it.
I've never been big on the podcasts. When we started doing it, and I started listening to it. If you get a chance, check out Talk is Jericho, because Chris Jericho, even though I fucking hate Canadians, he is
I really dig Chris Jericho. We've actually, for this particular podcast, we've now referenced 2 of his episodes. We've referenced the Cecil. He did the Cecil Hotel, and he also did one on Chris Benoit, which was a dear friend of his. So
he needs to do one on Beardo joining us right now.
What's up?
What up, Beardo?
What up, Bubba? But yeah, so like I said, there's so everybody kind of getting into the Cecil Hotel. That's kind of been a thing for a time period now. Whether it be you just kind of knew the general information prior to American Horror Story, or maybe American Horror Story piqued your interest, or the initial 2013 incident with Alyssa Lamb, or even now currently with the buzz that's taking place in current social media and Netflix and all that stuff. So anyways, that's kind of that. So
thank God for social media when it comes to our love for horror, because there's so many outlets. You can just type it up, find out what channel it's streaming on. And back in the day, you remember you have to flip through like the TV guide and see what's coming on TV,
praying, hoping you would find something.
Yeah, now you just you want to watch something, you stream it, and that's just it.
Yeah, like we've actually referenced as far as information goes. We did a lot of Wikipedia. We did a lot of we did ID channel. We did Netflix. some stuff on there's a couple things on Discovery Plus, which and then like they said, the ID check. So we've actually referenced a few different outlets as far as this goes. We normally do though. I normally and then podcasts. Normally when I do the research, because I have to do research every week. I know basic information about the topics, but I have to actually dig and learn real stuff about the topic so that we have content for the entire show.
Every time we do a show about something, I'm always like, oh, that ain't scary. I would do that. We've been ghost hunting before, and that shit was pretty scary. The Cecil Hotel and all the stories that we've got here documented in our papers, I probably wouldn't fuck with that place one bit. I'd maybe walk by, but then if you walk by, you still, stand a chance of being killed, like falling objects.
We'll get to that. Yeah.
I mean, I just fuck that. Nah.
Yeah. So
that and the suicide forest in China.
You got me fucked up. No, we could probably we'll do an episode on like shit like that, like the suicide forest.
Some shit you don't fuck with. This is.
And the reason we're mentioning that is because this place was actually at one point referenced as the Suicide Hotel. People would call it the Suicide Hotel. I'm staying at the Suicide Hotel, so it was literally nicknamed the Suicide Hotel.
We're joined by Tom Wood. What up, brother?
What's up, homie?
Happy Juggalo weekend.
Hey, I wish I could have been there. We wish, but happy y'all got to experience it.
One day shows will get back to normal.
I know for a normal price.
Not an auction that jumps to 17 grand.
Yeah, so it's just too much stress for me, really. And honestly, I can't afford it right now because I haven't worked in 2 months. But yeah. So, anyways, but yeah, back to the show. So, like I said, Cecil Hotel. The Cecil Hotel was originally built in 1924. It was built as a destination for business travelers and tourists. At the time that it was built, it cost $1.5 million. And of course, this is in 1924. Not really sure what that would translate to today, but a fucking retarded amount of money. As in today's in today's aspect or what have you. But anywho, so 1.5 million then, whatever that is today, to complete and build this what was at the time considered a luxury hotel. You walked in, it was very nice, it was very well decorated, it was beautiful. It was like I said, it was meant for business travelers and tourists, so it was very upscale at the time. But let's see, about shortly thereafter, I'd say, within, it wasn't even a decade, wasn't even a decade later that the Great Depression took place. And once the Great Depression took place, it really kind of tanked everything, especially in downtown LA, which is where this is located.
And that's why it's closed to this day. Because of COVID hit and everything, and it's like completely shut down.
I think it was closed before COVID.
They're letting these ghost crews and shit come in there because they need the money.
They finally let Ghost Adventures go in.
Back in the day, they was like, "No, you're not doing nothing in here. No video."
They tried for a while to go and investigate. Like when they did their Black Dahlia episode, they tried to go in and record some of which
the bar
we'll get into.
Was the last place she was seen.
Yeah, exactly. But she they tried when they did their Black Dahlia episode, they tried to do a little bit of recording there, like in the bar and stuff like that, and they wouldn't allow it then either. So they've tried. There's been a couple times they've reached out to Cecil Hotel wanting to do investigation. They wouldn't allow it. But now that everything is officially closed, see, I'm getting mixed reviews. I am getting plenty of information that states they closed their doors in 2017. That's what I heard. And then it's been sold to somebody else. The new current owners and developers are wanting to turn it into like housing and stuff like that. So there is supposed actual development that's supposed to be taking place. LA? But we did hear a thing where they were talking about it being due to, it was what's his face from Ghost Adventure, not Zach Baggins. I can't remember who we were listening to. Anyways, one of the guys from Ghost Adventures, he was talking about how due to COVID that there was nobody in there. It was completely 100%. So I don't know if there were like people that were still like maintaining the place since 2017, or possibly there's the information isn't 100% clear, but I understand that. Go ahead and check. Keep going. It's not open. See, do you see anything about a phone call? Can you call them?
To call them.
Yeah, no, that's not open, sweetheart. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like they've yanked their phone number, and to my knowledge, I don't know though. I don't know if it's been reopened and it's already like, I don't know. If it was housing, it wouldn't have been closed enough for them to go in and do their investigation. Either way, we're getting off subject. Okay, so like I said, this place was built in 1927. This place had.
They got Wii consoles and DVD players for rent, so you can get them for your room.
They've got 700 rooms in this place. It's pretty big. Anyways, Great Depression took place, and places tanked, especially places like Los Angeles and stuff like that. So business went down. The hotel definitely suffered, and then as it declined over the decades, and as it declined and the area around it declined, the area nearby area then became known as Skid Row, and it became increasingly populated with transients. It became one of the most dangerous places to be in America, is Skid Row in downtown Los Angeles. It's very well known. I mean, as many as 10,000 homeless people live in that area in like a 4-mile radius from this hotel. So I mean, it's pretty down and dirty in that area. It's been well known for things like prostitution and gang related violence, robberies, murder, drugs, everything, any of the bad stuff you can imagine. Bad places, that's one of them, one of the worst. Let's see. So in 2007, it had went to new management, and it was refurbished after new owners had taken over. In 2011, it did become rebranded as the Stay on Main. They tried to separate the hotel into two separate locations. One was still the Cecil Hotel. The other portion was now considered the Stay on Main. It was about 3 floors. They separated the place by floors. The first couple floors were tenants. The next 3 floors were the Stay on Main, and the remainder up the higher you went was the Cecil Hotel. The only common area that the tenants would use, whether it be like weekend tenants or permanent tenant, whatever. But the people staying, whether they're staying at the Cecil Hotel or Stay on Main, the only common area they did have was the elevator. The elevator, and I mentioned that because during the time that it was the Stay on Main was actually the time of Alyssa Lamb, which we will get into. Let's see. In 2014, it was sold to another person, so it's kind of been tossed around. In February 2017, Los Angeles City Council voted to deem the Cecil Hotel a historical cultural monument, because of its representation for the early 20th century American hotel, and because of its historic significance in agriculture. What are you are you trying to show me something?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So anywho, it kind of went around a bit, but it did gain quite a bit of reputation over the years for a lot of things happened in that place as far as violence, murder, suicide, stuff like that. You pretty much drugs, you name it, prostitution, it all pretty much took place in this hotel. This hotel really kind of went downhill. They did try though, like I said, back in 2011, they tried rebranding. They tried to clean it up, spruce them up, and do what they could. So let's talk about kind of some things that took place here. We've got As far as deaths goes, so let's talk about some shit that happened in the Cecil Hotel prior to Alyssa Lamb. So, quite a bit of deaths. Quite a bit of deaths. I don't know if I've got the actual information as far as how many deaths. Oh, there's so many. I think I've got documentation. I don't even know how many I've got documentation of here. We're gonna touch base on some of them here. So it looks like one of our first documented was on January 27th or 22nd. My apologies, 1927. It was Percy Cook. He was 52 years old, and he died of suicide, a gunshot to the head. So it looks like on the evening that Cook shot himself in the head while inside of his hotel room after failing to reconcile with his wife and child. He died, of a gunshot to the head. Although the Times reported that he was rushed to the receiving hospital with a slim chance of survival, death records revealed that he died the same evening. So that's our first suicide. Second one is November 19th, 1931. W.K. Norton, 46 years old, suicide. This one ingested poison. Was found dead in his room after ingesting poison capsules. A week prior, he had checked into the Cecil Hotel under the name James Willis from Chicago. Fake name. September of 1932. Benjamin Doddich, 25, suicide, gunshot to the head. A maid had found him dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. He did not leave a suicide note. July 1934, St. Louis D. Borden, 53, suicide. He actually slit his throat. In late July, former Army medical Sergeant Borden was found dead in his room at the Cecil Hotel. He had slashed his own throat with a razor. Borden had left several notes, one of which cited poor health as the reason for his suicide. Okay, let's see. Is this the gal that was potentially? I think this was the gal that might have been fighting with her old man. But it doesn't go into too much detail. Now, January 1938, March 1937, about skip one. March 1937, we've got Grace Margot. It claims that she fell from the building. I think this is the one where perhaps she was maybe trying to, I think she was staying there with her boyfriend. I don't think they were fighting, so that's why I think he was questioned and he was found, he was not a suspect, but she fell from the building. She jumped from the building from ninth-story window. Her fall was broken from telephone wires, which were wrapped around her body. She later died at the now demolished Georgia Street Receiving Hospital. Police were unable to determine whether Margot's death was the result of an accident or suicide. So did he accidentally push her? Were they arguing? Were they fighting? Did he accidentally push her out the window, or did she actually jump as a result, and this resulted in suicide? So it was really deemed, they weren't unable to deem it anything. January 1938, Roy Thompson, 35 years old. He too fell from a building. U.S. Marine Corps fireman Thompson jumped from the Cecil's top floor and was found on the skylight of a neighboring building. He had been staying at the Cecil Hotel for several weeks. So he jumped from the roof and landed on top of a neighboring building. So it wasn't just the Cecil Hotel that had to deal with incidences like this, that had to deal with some level of repercussion from, even other buildings. You can't just have a body turn up on the top of your building and not have, not feel some type of way.
The windows of these hotels nowadays have, man. You can't even get the motherfucker cracked open to fucking do a dab or smoke a cigarette.
Right.
Eddie.
But yeah, so there's that. I skipped the whole page, y'all. I skipped the whole damn page. I'm sorry. What the fuck? I was like, I'm done with this page. Skip these two people. Fuck them. No, not fuck them. I take that back. I don't speak ill of the dead. May 1939, we've got Erwin Neblett, 39 years old. He also ingested poison. He was a Navy officer. Found dead in his room after ingesting poison. January 1940, Dorothy Seeger, 45, also ingested poison.
Boy, poison back in the day was pretty fucking accessible to
Right?
get your hands on.
Teacher.
I can't
She was a
find any
teacher.
that's untraceable.
Dorothy ingested poison while staying at the Cecil Hotel and was reported by the LA Times to be near death. No further reports were published about her condition. Her death is listed in at January 12th, 1940 from findadeath.com. I guess there's a way to look up, just so you guys know, it's a website called findadeath.com. So if you're looking for an obituary, there you go. All right. Okay, phew, this is a rough one. This involves a baby. So if you guys are really sensitive, you might want to
mute. You guys are
mute.
raw D's. You might want to go make yourself
You might
a
want to,
milk bath and come back in 5.
yeah, or mute it for a minute if you're sensitive to things that involve children. This involves a baby, an infant. September 1944. There was a gal staying there named Dorothy Jean Purcell. Dorothy Jean was staying with her boyfriend, who was a shoe salesman. His name was Ben Levine. He was 38, and Dorothy was 19. Anywho, she had woke up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom, and found that she was in an immense amount of pain. She had no idea she was actually pregnant. She was going into labor. She later testified that she did not want to disrupt the sleeping of Levine, her boyfriend. She didn't want to disrupt him. So she went to the bathroom. She used the bathroom, wondering what was going on. She had given birth to a little baby boy. She claims she thought the baby was dead. Um, People believe that she potentially freaked out and figured this was the easiest way to dispose of. Either way, she thought the baby was dead at the time, and she threw him out the window. He landed on the roof to an adjacent building. So now we've got a man who's jumped from the roof on an adjacent building, and then this baby she tossed out the window, an infant, a brand new not even hours, minutes old infant that she literally threw out the window from her body out the window, and he landed on an adjacent building. So they too had a dead baby on their roof.
Boy, that's a fucking yeet and a half, right?
That's a fucking yeet. Yeah, that's mortifying. She was originally charged with murder, but 3 psychiatrists testified that she was mentally confused at the time of the incident. And in January 1945, she was found not guilty by reason of insanity. That makes me kind of sick. Just saying. But whatever. That happened. Now, November 1974, Robert Smith, 35, he fell from the building. He jumped from one of the 7th floor windows. So he had jumped from the building. October 22nd, 1954. Helene Gurney, she was 55 years old. She too also jumped from the building. She jumped from her 7th floor room and landed on the top of the Cecil Hotel's marquee. So the marquee for itself, like you walk up and it's the marquee for the hotel. That's what she landed on. God damn, could you imagine walking down the street? So anywho, she landed on top of the Cecil Hotel's marquee. 1 week prior, she had registered at the hotel under the name Margaret Brown. So again, another false name here. February 11th, 1962, we've got Julia Frances Moore. She was 50. She also jumped from the building. Her 8th floor window. So she jumped from an 8th floor window and landed on the second story the second story interior light well. People jumping off of buildings and landing on shit. I just could not even imagine. But yeah, so she jumped off her 8th floor room and landed on the secondary story interior light well. She did not leave a suicide note. Among her possessions were a bus ticket from St. Louis, 59 cents and change, and an Illinois bank book showing a balance of $1,800. This is the one. God, this one's fucked up. Just imagine walking down the street on October 12th, 1962. You're enjoying your brisk walk down the sidewalk of, the lovely neighborhood that is Skid Row. And you're just walking. You're just a little old man. You're 65 years old, and you're just walking. And out of nowhere, a woman falls from the building and lands on top of you and kills you. Pauline Otten, 27 years old, also jumped from the building. And when she jumped from the building, she was in an argument with her husband, with her estranged husband, Dewey. His name was Dewey. He had left the room, supposedly. He claims he left the room. And at that point, she decided she was going to jump from the window. When she jumped from the window, she landed on top of George Giannini. Did I say that right? Giannini? George Giannini. He was 65 years old, and he was just simply walking down the street, walking on the sidewalk, happened to be walking past the Cecil Hotel at the wrong time. She jumped from the 9th story window and landed directly on top of him, killing both of them instantly. The police had initially thought that that they had both killed themselves like it was like a double suicide or something, until they realized that Giannini still had his hands in his pockets. When they found him, when they came to the scene, he still had his hands in his pockets. so much death. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Could you imagine? Could any of you imagine walking down the damn street?
It's never money falling from the sky. It's always people.
It's just people, whatever. Okay. June 4th, 1964. I can't say this name.
Jacques B. Eilinger.
Is that her name? Okay. She's also known as Pigeon Goldie. Pigeon Goldie. She was 29 years old, and she was murdered. She had been stabbed, beaten, and raped when a hotel she was a neighborhood gal who everybody knew her as Pigeon Goldie. She would feed all the pigeons. She was like, what's the movie? What's that movie?
Home Alone.
Home Alone. With the pigeon lady who would feed the pigeons. She was much like that, like just a nice little pigeon lady who fed the pigeons. Well, not even old. She was 29 years old. Shit, she was younger than me. Anywho, she was known as Pigeon Goldie, and like I said, she was stabbed, beaten, and raped. An employee, a worker, had found her. She was a retired telephone operator. Retired. It says she's 29, so I'm not real sure what she's doing retiring at 29. But a retired telephone operator, dead in her room. She had been beat, raped, and stabbed. And her room had been completely ransacked. So depressing.
There's about 17 to 18 deaths is the death toll number, Evan.
Yeah, roughly.
I thought it was higher than that, but
December 20th, 1975, Allison Lowell. She was approximately 23. She fell from the building as well. They named her Allison Lowell. She's unidentified. That's why it says approximately 23. But she jumped from the building. It's a still unidentified woman jumped from a 12th floor window at the Cecil's 2nd floor roof. She had registered at the hotel on December 16th under the same name, Allison Lowell, and was staying in room 327. So another fake name. September 1st, 1992, approximately 20 to 30 years old. Also jumped from the building. The body of an African-American man was found in the alley behind the Cecil. Police said he'd either fallen, jumped, or been pushed from the hotel's 15th floor. The 20 to 30-year-old male had never been identified. And then that brings us to Alyssa Lamb, which is where my husband's going to help because I need him to wake up. He be sleeping. He be sleeping. You're sitting here with your eyes closed. So, that said, let's go ahead and touch base on all that. Wait. Just 1 second before we jump into Alyssa Lamb. Do you want to talk about real quick? Let's talk about these guys. So, let's just touch base real quick. Another thing that had happened in the hotel is there were a couple serial killers who also stayed at the hotel during its time that it was open. That I'm just tying things in. Like, there's a lot of foul play that takes place here. There's a lot of bad negative energy here. There's a lot of, like if you happen to believe in spirits or if you believe in supernatural and stuff like that, they claim this place is extremely haunted and stuff. There's a lot of stories behind this place. So there's a lot of evil. And that
Ramirez would literally go out and do his murders and shit
during 1985.
Come back all bloody and go in the alley and strip all his clothes off down to his drawers,
butt naked except for his underwear, still with blood on him.
Blood covered on carrying.
This place was so run down and so ghetto, and
nobody even noticed him.
Nobody paid attention to him.
Went straight up,
covered in blood, right to his room, like it was no thing, and nobody said a fucking word to him while he was out doing his killings, because this place was so run down. It was right there on Skid Row, she
had her scooter wrecked. She had blood above her eye and on her hands.
I was terrified. I legit didn't want I didn't want the cops to think that, I didn't want you to get any trouble. I look crazy. I know. I'm gonna physically assault you on live.
Sure am.
Anyways, so yeah, during 1985, the Night Stalker himself was a tenant and stayed for a while, not just a night or two. He actually stayed there, and like Shape had mentioned, he did some of his killing from that hotel, not in the hotel, because those of you who know or watched our episode on Richard Ramirez, he didn't do anything at the hotel, but he did, like he said, he would come back covered in blood and just ditch his clothes in the trash can right outside the hotel, take his clothes off and walk through the halls of the hallway in his underwear, covered in blood. Nobody even batted an eyelash at him. Also, shortly thereafter, I want to say in the early 90s, 91, something like that. Can you say his name? Because it's Australian. This guy's Australian, for one. We're going to discuss that.
Jack Unterweger.
Okay. So Jack Unterweger, he was from Australia, and he was actually convicted of murder in Australia. He had murdered at least a woman, if not more. I don't know really his history in Australia, but he had done time in prison. He went to prison for murder. He had murdered a woman and strangled her to death with her bra strap, with her bra. So he choked her out and strangled her to death with her bra in Australia. And he was doing time. And while he was doing time in Australia, he was writing. He was doing a lot of writing in there, like book writing, not like journal writing, but he was writing while he was in prison. And they had taken notice to his writing, and somebody in their judicial system in fucking Australia, it was Australia, right? Or was it Austria? Might have been Austria. One of them two countries. Sorry to offend you if you're Australian or Austrian. Is it Austrian? Anyways, doesn't matter. So this guy, wherever he was incarcerated, they decided that due to his fantastic, magnificent writing, that they should, I guess, pardon him, and release him so that he can go be an author. an author. God damn, I can't talk. So he can be an author and write for the world. So he can write books and memoirs and fucking what have you. So he kills a woman, gets released because he's such a wonderful writer, and he starts writing like he starts like actually journaling and writing in this country, and so then he comes here to America on an assignment to write. And when he gets here, he goes to the Cecil Hotel and he checks in and he decides to stay there. And this is like early 90s, if I'm not mistaken. And during this time that he's staying there, he's sitting here on an assignment, a journaling assignment. So, I guess nobody's like doing background checks on him or anything. And he gets to ride with the LA Police Department, the force. And he's literally doing fucking ride-alongs with the police, and the police are taking him to the prostitute areas and the places with the most crime, because he's writing about true crime in Los Angeles. That's what his subject's about. So they're taking him on all these rides and showing him where like everybody's at and all the prostitutes are staying and stuff like that. And then he starts going on ride-alongs to some murders where he's finding dead bodies. And guess how these people were killed? People were killed because they were women strangled with their own bra straps, strangled with their own bras. It's his eyes that got closed, guys, because he'll say they're not. So, anyways, huh? But yeah, no, this guy was legit going on these fucking ride-alongs, and he was popping up at these murders where these women were killed. There were, I think, 3 American women who were killed with bra straps that were tied, and she was choking these bitches, and lo and behold, it's him. It's fucking him. This man was literally incarcerated in this other country for fucking the exact same thing he came here and done while he was attempting to write a book and doing fucking police ride-alongs. Like, they were literally buttering the fucking bread for him. Like, it is insane. I cannot believe that fucking happened. It's absolutely mind-blowing. But yeah, so there's that. So that's some more evil that's kind of behind there. So you got all these deaths, all these murders, like, well, I guess not murders, but you got all this death, the suicide, possible hauntings, because people mentioned a lot of paranormal activity and stuff like that. And then you've got Richard Ramirez, you've got Jack Underweger, you've got all kinds of evil just within the walls of this building. And that now leads us to Alyssa Lamb, which brings us to my beautiful co-host, Shape 138. So I'll let him take the floor on this one, guys.
We know Ramirez was like pretty much the most famous like murderer, serial killer from there. Let's talk about like the most
notorious,
like
infamous
the most
missing persons.
Yeah, the one that really took the public by storm.
She was missing. She was like deemed missing for like 2 weeks or something like that.
Let's see.
So,
her name was Alyssa Lamb. She was born April 30th, 1991. The reason she probably died is because she's from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Canadians are soft. Can't handle it.
oh my
God. She wanted to go. She wanted to leave Canada, which a lot of Canadians probably do because it sucks there. But she wanted to travel, and she wanted to do a West Coast little vacation. So she mapped all the places that she was going to go. San Diego was her first stop that she went to. The only way she was able to go, though, is that she kept in contact every day with her parents. And she did San Diego. She'd call them every day, let them know how the trip was going. Leaves San Diego, goes to LA, checks into the Cecil Hotel. Days are going by. I think she meant to stay there. She had reserved the room for 4 days. First day, she checked in with her parents. Second day, and then all of a sudden, just poof, she vanishes. And parents get a little worried that she's not calling and checking in.
She was reported missing. Yes, it
It was,
beginning of the month.
and you know, the parents suspected something really bad had happened to her. Let's see.
Disappearance right here. For a reason, kind of want to pick up. Yeah.
You know, the hotel worker said they seen Lamb that day and she was alone. Outside the hotel, Katie Orphan, a manager of the nearby bookstore, was the only person who recalled seeing her that day. She was outgoing, very lively, and very friendly. Once they found this poor girl, Miss Lamb, they thought it was a suicide, and you know she was out. They seen her the day of the disappearance. She was buying gifts and stuff. They were like, no, there wouldn't be a suicide. She wouldn't be out buying gifts and stuff if she was committed suicide. So the police searched the hotel to the extent they legally could. They searched Lamb's room and had dogs go through the building, including the rooftop. But the canines were unsuccessful in detecting her scent. But we didn't search every room, Sergeant Rudy Lopez said later. We could only do that if we had probable cause to believe a crime had been committed. On February 6th, a week after Lamb had been seen, the LAPD decided more help was needed. Flyers with her image were posted in the neighborhood and online. It brought the case to the public's attention through the media. On February 15th, after another week with no sign of Lamb, the LAPD released a video of the last known sighting we were taking one of the Cecil's elevator. Real fucking weird behavior.
Oh my gosh. For those of you who haven't seen the video, I'm going to figure out one of these days how to add videos and stuff. There's a video. Just look it up if you haven't seen it on YouTube. Just look up Alyssa Lamb.
That would be cool.
And it'll show the video of her and the way she's acting in this elevator.
It's creepy as fuck.
It's
she's
like
she's dodging something. She sees something.
It's like she's popping in and out. The elevator door won't close. The whole time the elevator door just doesn't close. And she's like acting really weird and really like it looks like she's talking to something, but then it's like she's not. And then it looks like she's like hiding in the elevator. And then she pushes like a bunch of buttons and the elevator door will not close. But then there's also like, you probably can't even see this photo of this. This is the elevator photo for those of you who can see it. And down here at the very bottom, right here, is the timestamp, okay? For those of you who have seen a video like that, that's a timestamp. And when you watch a video of surveillance running, you'll see the little date and the timestamp. You see the timestamp going. One thing when people dug this when they dissected this video, literally tore it apart, was one thing people realized is that timestamp appears to be blurred. It appears to be altered. It appears to be that it has been altered to where you can't read it because it's not legible at all. Nobody's able to make any sense of it. And in addition to that, you can't see the actual numbers. You're not watching the actual number characters go. But if you're watching, like, because you can still see it moving, it's just blurred. You can't see the times, the actual numbers, but you can still see that it's moving. It's just blurred. But if you watch the way those blurs are moving, they're not moving in an actual sequence that seconds would run. So it looks like somebody has edited this video to where they've cut scenes of the video out. So you're watching and it's like we're losing seconds. There's times where the video is just like, it's not like, it's not like a constant flow of time, like seconds like this. There's times where it's kind of like, it's like going fast and it'll stop and it'll jerk. And then at the very end, when she goes out of scene from this elevator right here and you see her walk away, the elevator door finally closes. But when it closes, the very first like 6 seconds of that elevator door closing are completely gone. It's completely chopped. If you watch that video, you'll watch the video, her walk away and then the elevator door start to close, but it literally jumps like 6 inches or something like that. Like, then it closes nice and slowly like an elevator would. So if you watch it yourself, it literally looks like the video has been tampered with. There's so much reason to think that the video has been tampered with. Anyways, proceed. I'm so sorry I had to take over for a second.
Well, so during the search for Lamb, guests at the hotel began complaining about low water pressure. Some later claimed that their water was colored black and had an unusual taste. On the morning of February 19th, Santiago Lopez, a hotel maintenance worker, found Lamb's body in one of the 4 1,000-gallon tanks located on the top of the roof.
He had went up to check the water pressure because the manager at the time had gotten all these reports that, you know, the water pressure was down and the water tasted funny and it was a little discolored. So she asked him to go up and they had roof.
Motherfuckers were bathing and drinking corpse
water. They have these giant water tanks. They've got 4 of them on the top of the building, which a lot of places don't use anything like that these days, but they still did. And it happened to be that her body was inside of that tank. A water tank that she would have had to have climbed X amount of stories. They only exit
without her glasses.
She didn't have her glasses.
They found her glasses
in her hotel room,
her passport, all her money, her wallet,
her medication, everything was in the room. So she, in order to gain access to this roof through the stairs, she would have had to either sound an alarm or have key access to get to the roof easily. Otherwise, she had to climb a fire escape, which we're talking 15 floors
without
up.
her glasses.
With no glasses. You know, like fucking fire escape ladders. Like, this is no bullshit ladders. This is something I couldn't even imagine climbing 15 stories. Not 15 feet, 15 stories.
Some bitches if the place is on fire.
Then she gets into the tank. She gets up to the tank, which if you look at the footage, these fucking tanks are huge tanks. Like, something not very easy. It would have taken so much. So anyway, she gets up to the tank. She gets the tank open. She gets herself inside the tank. There's no ladders. She would have just dropped herself into the tank. Also, she's naked. She's naked. Her clothing was found in the tank with her. So she took her clothes off and got in the tank with her clothes, or she took her clothes off in the tank. The tank lid was closed, so she would have had to drop inside the tank and then finally managed to get the lid to close it down on top of herself. And what else? They mentioned something about a lot of drowning bodies are found face down, floating face down. And in this case, the gentleman, the maintenance man who had went up and checked the tanks, he reported seeing her with her face up. So when he found her face up, that indicated a possible indication of she was already dead prior to. Possible indication. Nothing had ever came of it. It was ruled and deemed an accidental drowning. But just so you know, like, that was something that was mentioned. Anywho, go ahead.
We've done said all of that.
Yeah, when they found her body was, moderately decomposed. She had started to bloat.
The autopsy report and its conclusions were also questioned based on the incomplete information. For instance, it does not say what the results of the rape kit and fingernail kit were, or even if they were processed. It also records subcutaneous pooling of blood in Lamb's anal area, which some observers suggest was a sign of sexual abuse. Assault. One pathologist noted it could have also resulted from bloating in the course of the body's decomposition, and her rectum was also prolapsed. Even the coroner's pathologist appeared to be ambient about their conclusions that Lamb's death was accidental. Since her death, her Tumblr blog was updated, presumably through Tumblr's K option that allows posts to automatically publish itself when the user is away. Her phone was not found either with her body or the hotel room. It has been assumed to have been stolen at some time around her death. Whether the continued updates to her blog were facilitated by the theft of her phone, the work of a asshole.
Hacker. Hacker.
Worth of a hacker or a raw D or through the queue is not known, nor is it known whether the updates are related to her death. There's been litigation since then. In September 2013, Lamb's parents filed a wrongful death suit claiming the hotel failed to inspect and seek out hazards in the hotel that presented an unreasonable risk of danger to Lamb and other hotel guests, and seeking unspecified damages and burial costs. The hotel argued it could not have reasonably foreseen that Lamb might have entered the water tanks, since it remained unknown how Lamb got to the water tank. No liability could be assigned for failing to prevent it. In 2015, the suit was dismissed. I'd have to go with the judge on that one too. I'm like, hey man, it's my hotel, but I ain't telling bitch to climb up there and get in the water tower. And I had it locked. I had it locked. fucking sue that demon or some shit.
I don't know.
It wasn't me. If you found her in the water, was it me? When you throw it in the water, was it me?
Controversy behind it. A lot. Just a ridiculous amount.
Picture this, name was in butt naked, floating in the hotel pool. And
wow.
This is a hotel.
So what do you guys think? That's pretty much and that's a lot. And like I said, since then I think that they've closed it down.
9 out of 10 on a fear factor. 0 out of 10 would my fat ass go in that Cecil Hotel. I would not. That is corpse soup and just nope. I'm like, oh well, we cleaned it up since then. No, you still had dead body water flowing through your pipes. I'm good. I ain't messing with them demons. I ain't messing with no ghosts. I ain't messing with none of that shit. Only thing get me in there is if Lady Gaga was like, I'll fucking bite your neck and turn you into a vampire and be my sex slave.
He said he shingled roofs and trying to imagine fumbling a dead body up a ladder. And I get that. There's a lot of things that make it seem like, she did it herself, but then there's a lot of things that do make it seem like it's foul play. I mean, it's really hard. I don't know.
I've done shingles. I do one rack, man. And this ladder's enclosed, man. It's the fire escape ladder.
Right.
So if anybody's, I wish you can't share the picture. No. You get on Google and look at the ladder that they're talking about. It's encased like you would see on TV, like the cops and robbers. The robber makes his way up. You ain't carrying no goddamn body up that, and no blind bitch is climbing up there either. It's something, man.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. That place is just, man.
A lot of questions that will never be answered.
A lot of questions that'll never be answered. I wonder if they are gonna renovate and still use the building, because I know that it's like I mentioned, it's been deemed part of historical society now, like a historical monument. Representing the 1920 boom in LA. So they're not just gonna tear it down. I know that much. And like I said, the new owners wanted to I don't want to say rebrand, rebuild, refurbish.
Didn't they try to change the name one time? Like just
stay on Main. Yeah, we talked about that earlier when they tried to separate it, because what they did was they had to leave the portion for the tenants. They weren't allowed to remove that by law. So they left the first two layers, the first two levels, 1 and 2 were tenants. 3, 4, and 5 were the stay on Main. And then 6 to 15 or 14 or whatever, missing level 13, of course. But those levels there were the Cecil Hotel. So when they rebranded, they because they couldn't afford to rebrand the entire hotel, plus the tenant situation. So they just figured they took 3 floors and rebranded that. So all of that was redone, that was updated, this, that, and the other. And then you had a cheaper option above it. They even had 2 separate lobbies. The only thing that they shared, though, in common was that elevator. Talk about the elevator game. There's all kinds of weird conspiracies. There's a ton of conspiracies about what people think happened to Alyssa Lamb. People think that it might have been government related and that she blew the whistle on something and somebody with an invisible cloak killed her. They think that it had to do with an elevator game, where if you go in and you push a sequence of buttons on the elevator, that it will somehow unlock like a portal, like a ghostly portal, and you got to find your way out of it, basically. And then there are people who believe that she was taking medication for mental disorders, such as depression and stuff like that, and they thought that maybe she was.
Reported that her levels of everything, nothing was, she went on ecstasy. She was
not on drugs.
Nothing.
She was on her medication. But they claim, a lot of people claim, that she just had a mental break, and blame, they think, or who knows, maybe she was influenced by something supernatural in that building. I mean, there's all kinds of different things that people really believe. There are a lot of people that believe a lot of different things happened to that girl. So maybe honestly, it could have been, who knows, But yeah, so it's a pretty interesting. Pretty interesting idea. Oh yeah, and like he said, a thing I didn't mention. Sorry. The Black Dahlia. She was last seen. She was last seen in the hotel bar there. So yeah, there are people that claim that that her presence had still been seen or felt or noticed in that building, because a lot of people think that was the last place that she was alive, and that she was murdered, not far from there. So, which is something we're gonna do an episode on. We will do a Black Dahlia episode, but yeah,
it's over. Hop on Netflix. Go watch the Cecil Hotel shit they got.
Yeah, it's pretty good. They got stuff on ID. They got all stuff on Discovery Plus. They got on Netflix. Gosh, I'm trying to think if there's anything on Amazon Prime.
I didn't want.
I think that's how I found out about the ID thing. I can't remember. Anyways, but yeah, no, just look up some shit, and if you don't know anything, and if you're just now learning about a lot of this,
And throughout this week, you can come back to this broadcast into the comments. Leave a comment of what your theory is of what happened. We'll discuss it a little bit at the first of the beginning of next week's episode. Wow.
But yeah, so there you have it. There's the Cecil Hotel. A lot of fucking crazy shit. A lot of unexplained stuff. A lot of scary stuff. A lot of negative. Like I said in the beginning, very negative place. I can't even imagine what like the air must feel like there. Oh, and also one that we haven't had a chance to watch yet, but if you guys are interested in watching it, and a lot of you I'm sure into this sort of thing, but Ghost Adventures did go in. They were finally able to, they were granted entry, and they were able to do a lockdown inside the Cecil Hotel. And very recently, if I'm not mistaken, it was during COVID, during the COVID lockdown. So definitely check that out if you get. And they did it. They stayed there for like 10 days. They filmed for like 10 days, so they had 2 hours worth of footage put together for that episode. So if you guys are interested in that sort of thing too, because they, from what I hear, they got quite a bit of, they got quite a bit of good responses from there. So if you guys are interested, check that out too. We're probably gonna watch it as well. Maybe definitely. Who knows? Maybe Monday or something. I know. But yeah, so there you have it. We hope you guys loved this episode. I enjoyed doing it because, like I said, it's piqued my interest since, God, a decade, 10 years ago. So I loved it. Thanks for being here. And thank you for all the shares and stuff. I'm looking. It's looking like we got quite a bit of shares here. So thank you guys for jamming that motherfucker.
Thanks, Max Terry, for the comedy relief throughout the comments. Kept me awake. And thank you, Evan, for the dope ass little review you just gave. You said that's pretty wild, great investigating for your podcast. Very thorough. Appreciate that, man. Thanks. It's a high compliment. We take that to heart.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I do a lot of work here. Like I said, I really enjoy doing it. It's kind of like a hobby. Like I learn more than what I know. And I like doing the research. I like learning.
Then we just walk around all week with the most useless fucking knowledge.
Pretty much.
We'll be at the grocery store
telling people
and be like, "Hey man, did you know that these people drink fucking dead body soup?"
Literally, people don't care. But we tell everybody, like at work, like we'll be just, these people don't watch our shit. They don't care. And a lot of people we people we work with, they're not like super into horror and stuff like that. You don't know me. They don't do horror. But we will tell them. We'll tell them all kinds of shit about this stuff. And they're like, you're looking at our coworkers and they're like mortified. And we're like into it and shit. I'm like, I'm so sorry. You guys don't even care. Like
those people don't matter right now because they ain't signing paychecks. You people matter. You guys that do the sharing and the caring and the reacting and the commenting. You're the ones that we do it for.
Seriously appreciate you guys. I couldn't be more grateful for all of you. You guys are all great friends of ours, great family. We love you guys. You guys are our people. And yeah, the fucking love and support is unbelievable. So anyways, so next week, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do.
Show, you see us at the gathering, come up, chop it up with us. We'll drink some water. Get hydrated together.
So next week we have just decided we're going to do the original Creep Show. So get ready for that, guys. We're gonna review the original Creep Show. So
Get
since
your
you stuck
super
it out with
friend
us
underoos out, your
and hung out with
pajamas,
us,
your Jiffy Pop popcorn, your knee high.
let me get some heart reacts if you guys want to see us do the original Creep Show.
We're taking it back to
Heart
the
reacts,
80s.
heart reacts, heart reacts. Come on, guys. I mean, I know some motherfuckers have been requesting us to do Creep Show. So here you go. I just need some heart reacts.
All 8 of you watching, at least give us a fucking blue thumb.
I'm watching. There we go. There's some hearts.
Creep Show it is.
I appreciate y'all. For real. So I'll probably hopefully post that damn flyer in the next couple of days. I know I've been sucking so much lately, y'all. I need help. But yeah, I'll get that flyer posted.
Max
If you guys
for some Creep Show.
dope. If you guys wouldn't mind helping me share the flyers, that would be cool. But yeah, so we're gonna do Creep Show next Sunday. So look forward to that. And if you guys want, check it out. Watch the original, and you guys can join the party with us next Sunday. So we will see y'all next Sunday at 9. In the meantime, we hope you guys have a fucking bomb ass week. Keep it casual. We love you guys.
No injuries.
Yeah, stay safe. No injuries. I'm on the mend. You guys stay safe. We love y'all. See you next weekend.
#fuck Raw D.
Peace out, y'all.